Alright, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Decided I'd make a video today because we are going to be canning up all of our peaches into some peach jam, and this will be a first for us this year. Last year we canned all of our peaches in syrup and we just quartered them, and they turned out so good, but we are still working through them. So instead of doing the same thing, we are going to switch it up a little bit and make some peach jam. We love peach jam, we love jam in general, and we don't use a lot of store-bought jam just because of all of the preservatives and stuff that are in store-bought jam. So when we do get jam, it is a homemade jam. We've been working through the plum jam that we made last year, which was so good, but we are down to just a few jars of that left. So peach jam it is this year, and I'm going to take you along with us while we do this. Okay, first thing you need to do is get all of your jars out, get them all washed, sterilized, as well as your lids and your rings. That is step one, making sure that your jars are ready to go. Step two is going to be getting our peaches dunked in some boiling hot water and then peeling the skins off of them. So we're gonna do a time lapse and insert that next, but that's our next step, and that's what we're gonna be doing. Okay, we're getting ready to start dunking our peaches into our boiling water, and then I'm gonna cut them up and put them into this pot, and this is what we will use to make our jelly in. Okay, so when you're dunking your peaches, once your water is boiling, we leave them for about 1 minute, about 60 seconds, and we do 4 at a time in our pot. And that is about the perfect amount of time for that peach skin to just peel right off. So just as a tip there, it's about 60 seconds to just get that skin to peel off nice and pretty like. Isn't that so satisfying? Okay, back to the time lapse. Okay, it is actually the next day. I got done all the peeling on the peaches and then got tired. So we threw them in the fridge. It's next morning and we're gonna finish this process. So first thing I'm doing is I am now cutting them down into chunks. So I didn't do this before because I wanted to get a good reading on how many pounds of peaches we had. and it's just easier to do with them in halves. So now we're gonna finish getting all of these into chunks, adding it to our pot here, and then we will start cooking it down into jam. Okay, so the next step is adding sugar. We are not using pectin for this recipe. We're just using sugar, and then we'll add some lemon juice and some water. But for our recipe, we've got about 12 to 13 pounds of peaches, so we are going to put in 11 cups of sugar. All right, now we are going to add a cup and a half of water. All right, now we're just gonna cook this down. Okay, we are now going to add our 8 tablespoons of lemon juice. So the reason you add the lemon juice is because it naturally has pectin in it. Okay, we have our peaches all stick blended down. There is still a couple of chunks left, but I'm okay with that. So now we are just gonna bring this to a boil, and then we will let it simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will start putting it in our jars. Okay, so we've brought our peach jam to a boil. We're gonna boil it for 10 minutes, consistently stirring, and then we're gonna turn the heat off and let it cool, and in about 5 minutes, we'll start to see it thicken. Okay, we've got our peach jam to a boil, and now we are just gonna let this boil for 10 minutes while consistently stirring, making sure it does not burn to the bottom. Okay, we have all of our peach jam bottled, lids on, rings on, and ready to go. Now we are going to load our pressure canner. All right, we have filled the pressure canner, and now we are going to fill it with hot water because our jars are still fairly warm from us putting the warm jam in it. So we're gonna fill it with hot water, and by fill, I mean about 4 inches in the bottom. Then we're gonna take it out to our Camp Chef, put the lid on, and we will go from there. Okay, so for peach jam in our elevation, we're going to cook this at 9 pounds, and I'm gonna have to double check because I can't remember how long. I believe it said 8 minutes, but we've got our Camp Chef going. So we are going to wait for the steam to come out of this little spout. We're gonna let it steam for 10 minutes. Then we will put our pressure weight on this, and that will build the pressure, and we will wait till we get to 9 pounds, and then we will mess with the heat as it cooks so that it doesn't go over or below that 9 pounds. Okay, so this is the steam that you're waiting for. You're gonna give it about 10 minutes. And then once your 10 minutes is up, which ours is, you're gonna go ahead and put your weight on. And then your weight is going to start building your pressure, and we are going to get to 9 pounds, and then it's gonna cook for 10 minutes. Okay, we've gotten to 9 pounds, so now we set our 10-minute timer. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, so we have shut off our flame, and now we are going to wait for this to depressurize all by itself. Once it reaches 0, you can go ahead and remove your weight, but not until it reaches 0. It does take a while, so now just go do something else and come back later.